we're installing a mullion on these two Reliabilt Series 150 vinyl windows from Lowe's, and we're showing a few little details that we've learned that may help the process go a little better. First thing you do is I put the windows upside down, front side forward and back side, because you can screw the panels better. But the first thing you do is you cut the two fins off. This one's been cut for us, so now we're going to cut this side, and then I'll show you how to seal it with some caulking and then the screws. One of the little details that's important is the edge here. This is the weld of the vinyl window. You basically have to clean that flush. If you don't, it causes problems. And so we're going to use a knife, but if you can figure something out that would work better, be careful not to hurt yourself. But anyway, I'm cleaning all the edges on all the four corners. So it'll be on this side, this here, and that. So as I was mentioning, it's important to keep that clean, because what's going to happen is in the mullion process, you just need a nice tight fit. So you have to clean this here. The other thing is in this J channel here, we noticed we put this later on to seal it. If this is sticking out, then it won't seal all the way properly. So you have to clean that area out there too. All this is just overflow of their welds that need to be cleaned out on all these corners. Just another area too that I forgot about is there's a little groove along here that this is going to fit into. So what you need to do on the corners is make sure that that groove is extended all the way. Again, so you have the best fit. So I'm just basically taking this little piece of extra vinyl out, see? So that makes a nice little channel all the way. And we're gonna do that on all the corners. Okay, so now we've cleared our channels out. If you notice there's a little channel here, that's gonna actually slide into this portion right here. And then we're gonna actually put a bead of silicone along the bottom of this edge. This is gonna be on the exterior, and it's gonna seal like this. Actually, we're gonna put a bead here. It's gonna seal like this and snap in. And then we're gonna put a bead here and then put the other one together. So we're gonna dry fit it first, make sure the lengths are okay, do any trimming we have to do. So the reason why you have to be careful about putting the mullion in the right location is with this little drip cap that they have. This is the exterior. It's actually gonna fit in here like such, right? And it's gonna be sealed on the top and the other way. The reason why you have to make sure that this piece is not too high is because it will interfere. And you're gonna have actually a metal trim piece like this is gonna go inside. So if it's too long, it's gonna cause a problem with this sealing properly. And you want this to be very tightly sealed and siliconed up with no interference, so that it drips water away from the two windows on the very top, the drip cap. We put a little bead along the underside. This is the exterior side that's gonna go underneath the mullion, because we're gonna do one side at a time. We're gonna clip it to this side, then we'll silicone the other side and one at the top. And in this case, I'm gonna put it in the tray. And I made a little narrow opening, about 1/8, maybe a little less. And that way it doesn't waste a lot of the silicone. So you don't have to clean up so much. Okay, so we're gonna lift this up, we're gonna set it in, and then snap it over. And that's gonna happen all the way down. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we sealed it up, and we're going to just make sure again that this is gonna fit. Okay, now that we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and put the silicone on this side and take the other one, the adjoining window, and put them together. So now that we have our mullion in and silicone, it's not screwed yet, and we actually checked it, and they're all the same, so they're equally into the mullion itself, and there's being silicone. This reinforcement bar may be useful when we're putting the screws in. And we're gonna make sure on this side that it's at least to this level here. The reason is because remember that drip cap we have a problem with. We wanna make sure that it's at least that far back. It's facing down. This is the exterior, the interior. In the little balance, the little pocket here, about 4 inches down, I'm gonna go ahead and put a screw, and it's gonna go into the pocket, and it's gonna attach both of them together. And then I just want to pull it just snug enough so it don't interfere with the little line there that's keeping the window tension. The other side, and I'm going to drop it a little bit just to make sure I don't hit the same area. If you notice, we went ahead and we opened up the windows and put the two more screws 2 inches below here on both sides to tighten this up here. So we opened this up to be able to access it. Be careful when you open it once the slide forward, just so you don't damage the window. Screwed the upper 2 screws there. We use this smaller screw in like this inside the little pocket void, and we tied both ends this way. Now we're going to take a 2.5 inch screw, and if you look under here, you still have that bar, and you're going to actually screw it in right here, which is this location down here that we're going to screw that into. If you look inside the channel here, you want to make sure you go a little bit below, because there's actually some little cords there that work in the tension. You see the cords down there? And so what I want to do is make sure I'm straight, and I make sure I go through this way. Notice we didn't really have to take the screen off. I'm going to do this side now, and I did the same thing, because you never want to go too low. All right, nice and tight. Pull these all together. Another thing I didn't explain is, once I set that at the proper height, this had an extension hanging over. Well, it wouldn't sit on the seal properly unless I cut this flush. So if you notice, I cut the mullion flush with both ends so that they will sit properly against there. So it will usually have the overlap of your mullion to come more to the bottom, because you want this flush so that it'll fit with the drip cap on top. We installed 4 inches down in the little channel. We screwed in through the metal bar into both sides. It drew it together, tightened it up. Same thing, you can see the screw right there, 2 inches down below the sash. We screwed that in to 1 1/4. Then we took one of these 2.5 inch, and we actually screwed it's on the exterior section and put 2 together, and that held that on the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and seal the top. What we want to do is we want to install the drip cap, but before we would actually take a silicone sealant, and we'll fill this gap in here, in through this area here, all these voids, and then we'll come and we'll seal this drip cap all the way around, on the top, on the bottom, and we're going to sit it in the channel like that. And then we're going to take these little screws and we're going to screw the corners down so it doesn't move.